Welcome back to Let's Talk Boxing. We've had some great fights today so far. We are now on to our third main event that we've been going live for today on commentary. This is the Shakur Stevenson versus Clary. We just saw a great and very exciting fight from Chris Colbert. He fought Jaime Arboleda. It was a great fight. Chris Colbert closed it down. My man, Mr. Lewis in the building. Let's go. Like I said, Chris Colbert had a great fight against Arboleda. Closed the show, 11th round knockout. Put on a great show the whole fight. Really showed his skills at 130, so I'm very excited to see what's in his near future. Earlier today, we had the Anthony Joshua versus Pulev fight. Also a fantastic fight. Anthony Joshua closed the show in the 9th round with a 9th round knockout. Also had a real good knockdown in the 2nd round, so it was also a really good fight. My man Kobe Lee in the building, welcome. So we've gotten to see some really good fights today, some big shots, some big knockouts. All the main events have ended. The 2 big main events before this ended in knockout, and now we've got the Shakur Stevenson and Clary fight. For those of you who don't know, we got Mr. Stevenson, who is 14-0 with 8 knockouts. Very talented young fighter. He reminds me a lot of Chris Colbert in the effect that he's an all-around fighter that really can do it all. He's got great skill. He's got good length, great ring generalship, good footwork. He's got great ring IQ to be as young as he is. The Nakatani fight, I know. Nakatani, who anyone who's seen Nakatani before, he's the guy that fought Teofimo Lopez 2 fights before Lomachenko did. And he actually went the distance with him and actually made it a really good fight. It was a close fight. So he just put on a great show on a comeback. He went down in the 1st round, got back up, ended up winning by knockout. So that was a great fight. This was previous to this main event here on the CSPN card. And as far as the Shakur Stevenson Khan fight, Khan is 28-2 with 19 knockouts. Does have 2 losses on his record, but he's done well as of late. He's a pretty hard puncher. The main event is coming up right now. So my prediction, I got to tell you, Shakur Stevenson, I think, is going to be way too much business for Clary. Even though Clary is saying that this is the best he's ever been, best shape he's ever been in, I'm afraid that Stevenson has got a lot to offer, and I think he's going to bring a lot to this table. I'm going to go ahead and say knockout. Let's see, the first fight ended in round 9 with a knockout. Second fight, main event, ended in around 11 with a knockout. I actually believe Shakur Stevenson has a better shot of going out earlier. I think he's going to knock him out. I'm going to go ahead and say the 7th round. I don't think this fight goes past the 7th round. I think he's going to get the knockout before that. Clary, he's a fair fighter, solid. I think he's going to sometimes he drops his left hand some, or he used to. We'll see. He says he changed up his style a little bit this fight. He drops his left hand sometimes, and Shakur Stevenson has a great straight and a right hook. So if he puts that combination together, it's going to be a big – I think he can get a big knockout early in the fight. And not to mention he's got great length. Shakur Stevenson's got real good length. I do think that he's going to make it very difficult for Clary to really get any good shots on him. And not to mention his defense is fantastic. Even fighting a bigger fight, he's got a great defense. So it's going to be tough for Clary, I think, to be able to hang with Mr. Shakur Stevenson tonight. The 130-pound weight division is jam-packed sort of at the moment. We've got several divisions right now that are super jam-packed. 130, you've got fighters like Chris Colbert, who just won. You've got Shakur Stevenson, who's still fighting at 130. You've got, because he just vacated his 126 and moved up to 130. You also have some great fighters like Leo Santa Cruz is at the weight. Jamal Herring is at that weight. There's some big names in this weight. Jojo Diaz is at this weight. So there could be some great fights coming up for all these guys. I know he wants to fight Lomachenko, who Lomachenko I think has been fighting at 135. It's really not his division. He's fighting in a division that's everyone's a little bit bigger than him, but he's so skilled that he's able to keep up with a lot of those guys. Shakur Stevenson is a big 130. He's 130 pounds, but he's big. And I know he wants to fight some of the big names. And I think he'd like to also move up to 135 eventually. So we'll see, kind of what his future holds. I'm not sure where he's going to want to go. Then Gervonta Davis can also fight at 130, 135, just depending on which one he does, which is another big name. Devin Haney's fighting at 135. Ryan Garcia is fighting at 135. You've got some big names right here all jam-packed in the 130, 135 range. And a lot of these guys are going to end up, trying to fight each other and meeting each other. January 2nd, Ryan Garcia is fighting Luke Campbell. Devin Haney just fought Gamboa a few weeks back. So a lot of these guys are looking for some big fights. They've all had these leading up fights, getting ready for some big ones. So we're going to see what a lot of these guys have here in the near future as far as fighting each other. Toka Khan, he's a good fighter. I don't think he's got quite enough. He's had 2 losses on his record. Those losses, I got to see one of those fights against Kid Galahad. I'm not sure he says his last name, but he just looked like he got stunned so many times by some big shots, and I just don't think those shots weren't even close to what Shakur Stevenson can do. So I don't think that he's going to have enough in his arsenal to keep up with Shakur Stevenson. Boxing is back. Boxing is back. If anybody got to see the AJ fight earlier, the AJ versus Pulev fight, that was a fantastic fight. That a lot of people, as far as I actually thought AJ was going to close it down a little earlier. I had him winning by knockout, but I thought it was going to be close to like the 6th or 7th round. It finally did. He finally did get the knockout there in the 9th. Tyson Fury has already spoken, saying he's ready to fight him. He'll knock him out in 3 rounds. Bob Arum has now already tweeted saying that they're starting Monday. They're going to try and get the deal together for Tyson Fury and AJ. So there's a good chance that AJ fight will happen. The only thing that'll throw a chink in that chain will be if Alexander Usyk, who is the mandatory for the WBA, I believe. He's a mandatory for one of the belts, maybe the IBF. Being a mandatory, he may be able to exercise his right to get a fight before the Fury fight can even happen. So we'll see. But it looks like all roads are pointing towards the AJ and Tyson fight happening. Hopefully that's definitely going to happen. Here with these guys, Shakur Stevenson wins tonight, and I think he will. And I think he's going to win in pretty good fashion as well. He's got some big fights ahead of him. Tyson RJ fight, the Roy Jones Jr. fight. It was definitely not a draw. Tyson definitely won. I think they gave it a draw, just kind of a pat on the back to the guys just for competing in the first place. Tyson looked good for a 54-year-old. I mean, I was impressed with his movement. I mean, it's not often you see a lot of 54-year-olds get out there and move like that. So, I mean, he looked good, but, he definitely won that fight. They gave it a draw just to kind of, pat everybody on the back and say, appreciate you guys for coming out and thank you everybody for watching the show kind of thing. So, it was fun, and I enjoyed it. It was more fun than I expected. I was actually kind of worried about it being a bit of a sideshow, which the Nate Robinson-Jake Paul fight was a sideshow. So part of the show was a bit of a sideshow, but I was happy to get to see the main event. It was actually more competitive than what I was, expecting. Tyson went out and did his thing. Roy was holding on for dear life and praying that he didn't get knocked out. So it was fun to watch. These guys are going to be coming out here pretty soon. Shakur Stevenson and Toka Khan Clary. We will soon have these guys doing their ring walks. They're getting ready in the back. Right now they're showing a lot of tape on these 2 guys. As far as some of each of those guys' strengths, Shakur Stevenson's got fantastic ability to stay in front of his fighter and keep his eye on the target. He's got great focus. He really has great poise in the ring, and he's able to really exercise his when he wants to do something. He pretty much does it at will. His opposition is never able to hold him back for very long. Toka Khan, he's got a good motor, so I'm hoping to see him, really come out there and give it his all. I'm hoping he can really throw as many, he's gonna have to throw a lot of punches. I feel like to win this fight, he's gonna have to kind of overwhelm Shakur Stevenson, which I don't think is gonna happen. He's got a puncher's chance, but I don't give him much. I think this is a bit of a one-sided fight. I truly think that Shakur Stevenson is way above and beyond the talent against Toka Khan. I just don't think Clary's got enough to be able to keep up with Shakur. And if you looked at the bets, the spread on the betting line it's negative 4,500 for Mr. Shakur Stevenson. So I don't think a lot of people are expecting Toka Khan to come out of this walking. I think a lot of people think he will be put down. And I'm one of those people. I would agree with that 100%. I think that Shakur Stevenson is definitely going to knock him out. But, that's why we're here. That's what we'll see. Shakur Stevenson, for his age, is a extremely well-rounded and smart boxer. So he's the kind of guy that they've talked about on several times. They expect him to be on that pound-for-pound list for a long time because he's just getting better. He's young, and he's still getting better as we speak. Every fight, he looks better than he did before. He looks like the kind of fighter that could really, have a long reign as a top fighter in these divisions. And it's one of those things that, I'm just glad to see it. Anybody that got to catch that Chris Colbert fight, though, he's another one that is a big fighter. I mean, he's a big-time fighter at 130. He's fast. He's quick. He's one of my favorite by far to watch. He actually won by knockout, which I was not expecting. Him and Arboleda had really good fight. But Arboleda was actually the bigger puncher. Usually, he was 16-1 previous to this loss here, with 13 knockouts. Chris Colbert was 14-0 with 5 knockouts. I mean, it's just not the knockout artist you expect when you look at his record. Looking at that fight, you would have thought it was switched. I mean, he was hitting with some huge shots, great combinations. I mean, I was very impressed to see what he did to knock out Arboleda. And I had him picked to win the fight. I thought he was going to win on points. I was not expecting him to take it to him and knock him out the way he did. It was a very pleasant surprise, which is why I really look forward to seeing what he can do here in the near future. Very soon here, we're going to get started with we're on commercial break. Soon we get started. For those who do tune in, check out my YouTube channel, not just for these live commentaries, but I will be doing many live commentaries for a lot of the main event big fights. But I'll also be doing a lot of we'll have some show talk on my Let's Talk Boxing show, where we'll have early next week, we're going to have a show about some of the judging that's been going on. If anybody got to catch the first fight on the DAZN, the first undercard that was going for on the AJ Pulev fight, the first fight started with a Florian Marcoux versus Jamie Stewart. It was an 8-round fight. Marcoux knocked him down in the second round and really controlled and had more, landed bigger shots, more punching the entire fight. For some reason, and I haven't quite found out what the reasoning was, but there was only one judge, and the judge was the referee in that fight. So he was refereeing and judging, and it was only one judge, and he ended up calling it a draw, 76-76 in that 8-round fight. Now, if you add up the numbers, that means that even though he knocked him down, that means he thought Jamie Stewart won 5 of the 8 rounds, which by no means is that possible. He wasn't in the same ring I was watching. The fight I watched was most definitely won by Marcoux. I mean, it was not even close. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things like that, because there's always, unfortunately, judging has been a huge problem in boxing for long time. Long ago, it was a situation where there was for sure situations where people were maybe paying people off, or things were done for money purposes. Nowadays, you wonder why it's being done. Is there money being done in the background? Is there something going on that make these problems happen? Far too often, we're having the conversation of this fighter should have beat this fighter. Where are judges getting their their numbers from? Because they're seeing, in boxing is subjective. I understand that. Different people see different things when they're watching these matches. But I got to tell you, I don't see how anyone could see certain fights the way they do. Like I said, that Marcoux Stewart fight, there's no doubt about who won that fight. And Marcoux was very upset. But adds to the suspense of boxing, because you really never know. Yeah, but in my opinion, I feel like it tarnishes it a bit. It puts a bad taste in your mouth when you watch it, because you're thinking, this guy didn't knock him out, but he had a great fight. And it's like, man, is he going to get it? You watch the fight and think, oh, man, is this guy going to get robbed? Because you can ruin somebody's career like that. Yeah, right? You can ruin some of these guys' careers could get, train wrecked because of something like that. Now that guy has a draw on his record that should have been a win. So now instead of being 8-0 with 5 KOs, he's now 7-0 and 1. 7-0 and 1 with 1 draw. And, people look at that. That's something that's looked at on your record. Now you can't, you may not be able to get that big money fight that you wanted, or as soon as you wanted. It may take you longer to get to those big, title shots. So it's one of those things, you can really hurt somebody's career on a whole nother level doing stuff like that. And I don't know what the answer is, but there's got to be an answer somewhere. I recently heard someone say that they thought that it would be a good idea to maybe have like a ranking system for the referees. That's a possibility. You hate the one. Yeah, I understand what you mean. And the reason one loss can do that now is because, there's so many sanctioning bodies now. There's so many belts. There's so many different venues. There's so many promotion teams. You definitely can tarnish your record with one loss. And that's why people are scared to fight the best. He almost got the Mayweather record. Yeah, but he did it against a much cheaper resume. Wilder definitely fought way beneath his class for a long time. As far as, not that he has all that much, boxing class either, but he can hit. He has dynamite in that right hand. So if he hits you and he hits, and most of the time he'll get one of those shots off, you're asleep. It's over. Bud Crawford in the building to watch the Shakur Stevenson. They're in the same camp. So he's my pound for pound best, Terrence Crawford. Here also at the end of the week, I'm going to be doing a pound for pound, my pound for pound, top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world. and we'll go over who I think it is and why. It's not his fault. I agree, it's not his fault. But unfortunately, once he fought somebody with talent, Tyson Fury, we saw what happened. We saw that he's not that top tier that everyone would think that he is. He's a stronger guy that was able to fight a lot of guys that were bad. But the point being is that to compare his record on paper, it looks like Mayweather's, but his record on paper is also paper because the fighters that he fought were nowhere near the caliber that Mayweather had to fight throughout his career. That being said, again, it's not his fault the division is bad, but it's definitely seen. I think he's been seen for what he is now, and as a really hard puncher. But when he's up against opposition of a really good boxer, someone who has really good ring IQ, he couldn't keep up. And, he lost twice, in my opinion. The first one was a draw, but he lost that fight on most people's cards. Toka Khan has now entered the ring. Toka Khan Clary, again, 28-2, 19 knockouts. Looking to really make a big name for himself here in this division tonight. If he beats Shakur Stevenson, he's definitely going to do that. Toka might get knocked. I believe he will. I've got him. I don't think this fight goes past round 7. I've got him 7 or under. I think he's going to get knocked out by Shakur Stevenson, who's 14-0 with 8 KOs, and he's the former WBO featherweight champion. Vacated his belt to move up weight. I don't think that Toka is going to be able to handle Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson he's one of those fighters like I talked about, like Chris Colbert, in my opinion. He's one of those type of fighters that is just, he's a special fighter. He gets in the ring. He has such great footwork, great poise, really good ring generalship. He's got an IQ off the charts for his age. I mean, Shakur for the Rock, yeah, I agree. Kobe Lee, I definitely agree. I think Shakur Stevenson will definitely knock this guy out. And, maybe Toka can hold his own and, surprise anybody if it's boxing. Everybody's got a puncher's chance. But I definitely think his chances are limited here. I don't think he's got enough. Like I said, Bud Crawford in the ring, in the crowd there, here to root on Shakur Stevenson. For anybody who missed the AJ Pulev fight, Floyd Mayweather Jr. was there, and gave a big support for Anthony Joshua. So that was a fun little tidbit. Shakur Stevenson is into the ring. He looks good. I mean, he looks poised. He looks ready to go. I got to tell you though, Toka Khan looks very, very confident in himself. I do think it's a little false. I don't think he's ready. I don't think he can take on Shakur. I don't think he has the skills for it. But if you ask him, I bet he'd tell you he could. It's going to be a bad night for Toka. Yeah, I agree, and I think it's going to be a quick night for Toka. I don't think this fight goes past 7 rounds, and it could be an early knockout, to be honest with you. I think Shakur is definitely going to be, he's bitten off more than he can chew. I don't think Toka Khan has got near enough in his bag of tricks to deal with Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, I think, will, at the end of the day here, win by knockout. Former silver medal Olympian. He's a fantastic fighter, and I'm very excited to see what he does. His last fight against Caraballo was a 6-round knockout. Again, very, very good fighter. As they just showed up here on the screen, he's ranked number 1 in the WBO and number 2 in the WBC in the 130-pound range. That's big. I mean, that's quick. He just entered, and he's already number 1 and number 2. So he's he's a great fighter, and I'm excited to see this fight. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. We've had great fights today. Today was a great day for boxing. Like I said, Anthony Joshua with the 9th round knockout. Chris Colbert in the main event with the 11th round knockout on Showtime. We had great undercard fights too. I mean, some great undercard work. We saw a great knockout by Berlanga in the first fight. I mean, in the first round knockout on the undercard of the on this undercard here on ESPN. We got to see some great fights on the DAZN undercard. Some really good fighters, came out today and performed, and it was very impressive. We got to see a lot of sizes too. We got to see a lot of the heavyweight fights today. We got to see a lot of some of these lightweights guys today. So I'm excited to get started. We're about to get started here. Refs done told them the rules. Let them know to be a nice, clean fight. So let's get it going. First bell. Here we go. They meet in the middle of the ring. Shakur Stevenson has the height advantage, reach advantage. We'll see how he works it today. As you know, both fighters are southpaw. So got 2 southpaws in the ring today. Toka Khan poking out that jab, trying to get the distance down a little bit. Shakir doing the same. Both guys trying to establish the jab right off the jump. Shakir, as I said, he looks to be just a longer fighter in this fight. We'll see here if Toka Khan can close the distance a little bit. Nice jab by Toka Khan, catches Shakir, trying to move in a little bit. Shakir kind of following Toka around the ring. Both guys still trying to feel each other out. This is, very often a feel around. A lot of fighters trying to feel each other out, figure out where the distance is, where the sweet spots are. Shakir Stevenson being a, sort of a sweet science boxer, he definitely looks for the spots. But you can tell when he's in the ring, he's thinking. Oh, and he kind of unleashes it a little bit. Oh, good jab by Toka, though. Shakir Stevenson comes in, gets 2 good body shots, and then Toka connects with a jab to tell him to go away. So that was a good jab by Toka. Shakir, I don't think after he goes with those body shots, I don't think he's going to keep his head down the middle like that anymore. Oh, very nice shot. Shakir Stevenson wobbles him already with a stiff jab down the middle. And Toka already looks a little hurt. Oh, and Shakir already trying to go for some big shots, maybe trying to already close the show. Toka swings out, gets off the ropes. It's a more exciting round than we were expecting. Looked like a feeler at first. Now these guys are trying to unleash a little bit. Shakir Stevenson with 2 more big shots. Toka trying to jab him off. Let's see if Shakir gets some of these shots off again. I think Toka's already a little worried because he's already felt the power of Shakir Stevenson, and it's definitely there. Shakir Stevenson with a great weave game. Good body shot. He starts with that lead jab and then comes downstairs with a left body. Yeah, I think that left hook to the body is going to be one of those punches tonight that he's definitely going to be looking for. His flurry started with they were real close to each other. His flurry started with a right hook that kind of brushed him off and then caught him with a left. And that kind of started a few big shots when he was on the ropes. Another 1-2 by Shakir Stevenson. Shakir Stevenson still inching his way towards him. Toka Khan backing up. He's definitely gotten Shakir. Shakir's definitely gotten the respect of Toka as far as the punches, his punching power. Toka tries to jump in with a jab. End of the first round. Well, first round definitely goes to Shakir. He definitely landed the biggest shots, the better shots. He had a great little flurry there when they got close. They kind of tied up for a second. Shakir got him with a quick right hook, caught him with a left. Toka had to back up, go to the ropes. Then he caught him with a stiff jab that was really the bigger punch of all the shots that wasn't expected. Shakir's definitely a 10-9 round. That was definitely a 10-9 round. He caught him with that big stiff jab, sort of a lead jab that he kind of jumped into, power jab, and he pushed him back to the ropes. And it was, I don't think he was expecting that. Yes, Shakir's got pretty good defense though. I mean, he definitely got caught by that first jab, but he's one of those fighters very similar to Mayweather. They keep their eyes open the whole time. So even when someone's throwing punches directly in their face, though, they keep their eyes wide so they can see where the punch is coming from. And I guess some guys just have that great poise in the ring where they see the punch and they're able to move off of it. See, Nakatani's headed to the hospital. As you know, Nakatani was the fight previous to this one where he won by knockout. All right, we're in the second round. Shakir Stevenson, Clary. Let's see if Shakir Stevenson can pick up where he left off and keep establishing himself. Toka, I think, is going to really – he's got a hard work ahead of him because he's just out of reach a little bit on these punches. He's going to have to get a little bit closer if he wants to, which is going to put him in the danger zone, but he's going to have to get a little closer if he wants any shot at Shakir because Shakir's got the reach, and he's long. He's a tall fighter. Oh, great jab. Oh, giving him some good shots on the ropes. Some of these shots aren't hitting perfectly clean, but they're hurting. He's touching him. As they're showing a replay there, that stiff jab. Boy, that was a really great lead jab. It was just power jab that just really got in there and knocked Clary off his balance. Shakir Stevenson still walking down Toka Khan. Toka Khan trying to move in a little bit, try to give a little flurry there. Couldn't quite connect anything. Had a small body shot that was a light jab. Didn't do any real damage. Tried to jab there. Shakir Stevenson Two good body shots by Stevenson. Oh, and another great power jab. Catches Khan off guard. I think Khan needs to move his head back and forth a little bit. He's staying. Wow, another great hook by Shakur Stevenson. Khan's keeping his head down the middle too much. He needs to get a little more head movement. Good right hand by Shakur Stevenson. Countered off of Toka Khan's quick flurry that he had there. Shakur Stevenson's got a great jab, and it's showing tonight. I mean, Clary's got to get his head off the middle, or down the line. He's got to move a little bit more. Nakatani felt his punch. Yeah, obviously, because his face was very swollen at the end of that fight. Shakur Stevenson got him on the ropes again, got some good shots off on him. Try to make a left, another down the middle, right down the pipe. He's got to move his head. He's got his head just right there down the line, not moving. He can't, he's going to get knocked out real quick if he keeps it down the line there. Shakur Stevenson he's got great balance. So when he wants to get those quick jabs off but they're power jabs. So they're connecting, but they're hurting. I mean, they're not just a quick jab just to let you know I'm here. I mean, he's feeling them. Putting him off balance even. Another quick jab. Two jabs, 1-2, and then goes down to the body. He does great body work too for a young fighter as he is. I mean, does a really good job of going up top, going down to the body, making sure he puts something in the bank for later rounds. Clary tries to jump in with a quick hook, and that's the end of round 2. Another 10-9 round for Shakur Stevenson. Shakur walks his opponents down like Spence. Yeah, he stays on. I mean, he stays on him because he does have that reach, but he fights on the inside really well too. I mean, if you ever watch him fight on the inside, he's got great inside presence. I mean, he gets great shots off. So I'm always impressed to see him fight on the inside, even though he's got good length, so he fights great on the outside. His inside game is very, very high. And again, his ring IQ is off the charts. I mean, you see him thinking fighters down really well. So once he figures out what he can do well, he sticks to it for the most time. He has great up and down work too. So he gets to fight a lot of fighters defensively kind of off guard because they don't really know quite where the punch is coming from. Good angles. If I was something I'd like to see him do a little bit more of is a lot of times when he moves in, I think a lot of times he would join the commentary. Hey, absolutely, Kobe, my pleasure. Tune in anytime you feel like it. Catch one of our episodes on Let's Talk Boxing when we're talking a little more of the boxing game. Back in the Shakur Stevenson fight, round 3 starting. Stevenson up on my card, 2-0. Entering the 3rd round. Clary still, I think, just hasn't been able to figure out any distance. And I think Shakur has really gotten him off guard with his power, especially that power jab. He's caught him a couple of times with that power jab and really kind of gotten him off balance. And I don't think Clary was really ready for that. It's a good jab there by Clary. That's the first jab, maybe the second. I saw one other one in the first round that looked like it really, was able to connect. So I'm glad to see that by Clary. He's got to start moving that head. If y'all notice, his head is down the line way too often. He's got to give some motion back and forth, up and down. I mean, he's an easy target. He's just target practice right now for that head, for that jab. Shakur Stevenson walking him into the ropes. He's done this several times now throughout this fight, and Clary is not fighting well off the ropes. He needs to get off those ropes. It's not doing him any good to stay on those ropes. Now he ties up with Shakur, and now he falls down. So we've got a situation where Shakur Stevenson's Clary's grabbing him, and Shakur Stevenson kind of pushes him off, and he falls. So he's gonna the tie-ups. If he doesn't tie him up, he's gonna have to tie him up better than that. And it's a lot of jabs from Clary, but he's a lot of them aren't connecting, and he's not following it up with anything. If he's gonna do a jab, he needs to double it up, maybe go to the body some, try and get on the inside a little bit, which I know is a tough feat. But if he wants to have a chance at all, he can't do it from the outside. There's just no way. He's going to have to get more inside with Shakur Stevenson if he wants to have a shot at all. Shakur Stevenson having his way with him right now, though. He is landing good shots. He's definitely the aggressor. Clary kind of it's almost like Clary's fighting him off rather than engaging him. He keeps getting on the ropes, too, and that is not doing him any good. And he doesn't have a bad jab, but I think he needs to double it up some. I think he maybe need to double up and then drop it down low, too. Give him a few body jabs. Change the distance. I mean, change the height. Because his game plan right now, I don't think has an opportunity to do much. And here pretty soon, I think Shakir Stevens is going to really start to open up more. I think he's going to start to, even though he's putting the pressure on him, I think he's going to probably, put the foot on the gas and even, put more pressure on him. Because he's walking him down nice and slow, but I think eventually here he may start to try and open up his arsenal, try and get a few different types of shots in here. Right now, he's just that power jab has been his main weapon. And it's been working very well, impressively. Oh, good body shot. Good right hook. Shakir Stevenson opening up a little bit. Clary still just getting tagged with that jab. I mean, it's just all night. Jab is just tagging him. Another tag. Clary tries to open up a little bit and into that round. Clary looked like he tried to maybe open up a little bit there at the very end, but he's going to have to do it a lot more. He's going to have to put on way more pressure than this because this just isn't enough. If he wants a shot, he's going to have to get more on the inside, in my opinion, and he's going to have to do a lot more body work because Shakir Stevenson, he's going to have to go up and down with it because Shakir Stevenson got, very good defense. Not to mention he's the longer fighter. So Clary keeps trying to do these, jabs from distance. He's not connecting. He's just not reaching him. And, he's then he'll back up to the ropes, and then Shakir Stevenson's just tagging him with his jab every chance he gets. So I think he needs to change his tactics up a little bit here. They're in the corner. They need to talk it over, decide, hey, let's pick up the pace a little bit. Let's try and push the pressure to him. Go towards him a little bit. Stop working off your back foot because it's not working. Your jab is not connecting, so let's move in a little bit. Let's double up that jab, get closer, and work the body. Shakir Stevenson, he's doing everything he needs to right now. I think he might just need to pick up the pace a little bit, only because I think he could take this guy out. And I think everyone, especially with these other fights happening today, I'm sure he's heard how good these fights were before him. I think he needs to pick up the pace as far as to close the show. He needs to close the show in good fashion. Chris Colbert did it today. I think AJ did it. I think he needs to do the same. Shakir clearly the superior fighter. Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, he's definitely the better fighter here, and I think he should be able to not take this guy out without too much difficulty. So, in doing so, I'd like to see him, kind of put his foot on the gas a little bit. It's now the fourth round. You've gotten rounds in, so you've shown what you can do. Now let's pick up the pace a little bit and let's start to really put the pressure on this guy and get him out of here because he definitely can. And there you go. See, now he's opening up a little bit. Threw about a 4-punch combo. And Clary, still trying to paw that jab, trying to get him, get some distance, trying to establish himself. But a lot of it's not connecting. I think his game plan is just not working. And Shakir Stevenson just hitting him at will with that jab. That was finally a good jab by Clary. He waited for Shakir to come in a little bit and connected with the jab. He's grabbing too, so it's not easy to fight, with a guy grabbing you quite a bit when you do get close. But Shakir Stevenson, I think, has definitely got the opportunity here to really work this guy. And on this stage, after these other big fights that have happened today, so a lot of people are, tuning into boxing. Close the show. Let's, show me what you can do. I'd really like to see him pick up the pace here. Opening up. That was a good body shot. Did an up and down shot, another body shot, another jab. There we go. See, if he just – I want him to keep this pace throughout the fight. Now, I don't want him to just sit there and walk him down and, wait for him to kind of get closer to the ropes and then go for him. I'd like to see you really get into him. Good body shot. Stevenson is, if anyone's watching the fight, you can see he's just a better fighter. I mean, I would say he's out of Clary's class. I mean, he's just outclassing Clary completely. No offense to Clary as a fighter, but he's just not. He's not on the. He doesn't have the ring superiority that Shakir Stevenson has just yet. Stevenson has a nice 3-4 punch combo there a second ago. Clary tried to get one going, but you could just tell he can't quite get the balance or the distance down. Nice left hand by Stevenson. Clary's got to get in closer. He's got to push the issue. He's going to have to make this a tough fight. He's going to have to move in, get his shoulder down, get closer to the fighter, and try and make some work happen on the inside because I just don't see it happening on the outside. He's not going to be able to connect. Shakir Stevenson and both guys in the middle of the ring, Clary reaching for some shots, trying to get something go. Nothing really hits. Again, they doubled up the jab. Oh, he got hit by a good counter left by Stevenson, but he's still game. He's still throwing some shots, and that's what he needs to do. That's what Clary needs to do right there is make this a rugged, rough fight. Make it rough for Stevenson. Stevenson's too comfortable in there. And that's the end of round 4. he's far too comfortable for the situation that he's in right now. He should be so much closer as far as the getting in there and getting tight, getting in those tight spots, making it not a dirty fight, but a tough fight, making it a difficult fight for Shakur. Shakur's comfortable right now, hitting him with jabs, moving in, punching when he wants. It's not very close right now. Cardio, yeah, giving it may be a cardio situation. He may not have quite enough in the tank to push the fight that way, and that may be the reason he's not doing it. And if that's the case, I mean that should have been the game plan all along, in my opinion. They could see the distance that Stevenson has, that possesses in his reach. They've seen how he fights. I'm sure they've watched his trainers have watched tape on him and seen that he's a very poised fighter, fights great off the counters and such. If I was going to have my guy in there fighting him, I want him to make it a rough, tough fight. Let's make him uncomfortable. Get inside, work the body, work as close as you can. And if that's not your game plan, if that's not how you fight, you're gonna have to figure out a distance that you can get these jabs, and you're just pawing at trying to find him. Because right now he's just feeling the air most of the time. He's not connecting with anything. And if you want to, if you're going to work those jabs, you're going to have to get in closer and double, triple up the jab. He's just not doing it right now. And again, this fifth round has just started. So far, I have a 10-9 every round for Shakur Stevenson. Easy fight to judge. And Clary's just pawing at him with this jab, but it's very rarely connecting. Shakur Stevenson's hitting with the much better shots. He's got a power jab that's connected very often. It's not even close, in my opinion, right now. The shots that Clary has hit, he's had a few shots here and there, but none of them have been of any real substance. They've been, just light shots that have not done any damage whatsoever. Shakur doesn't seem to be at all worried about his power. Shakur Stevens gets a quick warning for punching when he's getting broken up. Got a quick warning from Bayless. Kenny Bayless is the referee in the fight tonight. Very famous Kenny Bayless. Fighter that used to do all the Mayweather fights. Good work by Shakur, going up and down. Body work. Great body shots there by Shakur Stevenson. And again, I would really like to see Shakur Stevenson pick up the pace. He's punching him at will. He's not extending a lot of energy. I'm sure he's got plenty more in the tank, so I'd like to see him kind of pick up the pace. This is the fifth round we're in now. By the sixth or seventh round, I haven't predicted to go down, but that's only if Shakur Stevenson starts to really throw these punches. I got to see Shakur Stevenson pick up the work, though, for that to happen. At this rate, he's not going to take out Clary, but he's going to win. But Clary's not going to go down. I need Shakur to really pick up the pace here. I'd like to see it out of him. I'd like to see him close this show, only because I think he can take this fighter out. This isn't a fighter I think that is going to, is really sticking with him or is in his class. I think he's Shakur Stevens is a top-tier fighter in this weight class. I'd like him to prove it tonight. I'd like him to show it. I'd like him to show that he is definitely the superior fighter here. A lot of tie-ups this round, too. We've had 2 or 3 tie-ups already. We still have 40 seconds to go. Clary just did something that I'd like to see more out of him, except I'd like to see him combo it. He got in close, got real close, tried to throw a left hook. But if doing that, he needs to come back with a right as well. I mean, give him some angles, give him some different shots. I mean, Stevenson's just able to roll that shoulder and move that left right off. Good power jab by Stevenson that Clary walks into. Oh, good right hand by Stevenson. Good right, left by Stevenson. He looks like he's trying to close out the round here with a couple of big shots. Let's see, Shakur doing a little talking in there. Oh, he's doing some serious talking now. So I need to see Stevenson pick it up because he's talking, he's comfortable. It's the fifth round. You've had 5 rounds in the bag, 10-9 rounds, easy to score. Nobody's giving Clary these rounds unless it's judges from the earlier fights who couldn't see. But if you're watching this fight and you know anything about boxing, easy fights to score. These are 10-9 rounds. He's got the harder punches. He's hitting more punches. His jab is on point. He's controlling the ring. No doubt about who's winning these fights. With the Mayweather style in the fifth, yeah. I mean, right now he's punching but he's not forcing the issue, and he needs to. He needs to really start getting in there and moving and pushing the action. I mean, let's pick up the pace now. You're halfway through the fight. You have plenty in the tank. You've probably trained for 12-round fights. You could have trained for a 12-round fight at this juncture. let's go ahead and pick up the pace some. Let's step up. Let's start moving in. Let's get some bigger shots. Let's open up the arsenal, open up our game, and show what we can do. Stevenson's body shots are really great too, so I'd like to see more of those. I'd like to see him get in there and combo them up and start putting the pressure on Clary to really, say, hey, either you're gonna go for a knockout to try and win this fight, or I'm just gonna beat you up. And I think if he opens Clary up for some of those counter shots, he can get him. So we're starting the 6th round. We've got a few shots in already. Stevenson's just hit him with a right hook, hit him with a left overhand. Very nice shot. Got him on the ropes again. Now he looks like he's picking up the pace. 2 big shots, 3 big shots right there. Kind of opening up his arsenal a little bit. Let's see what he gets here. Easy night, because I think he's got to pick up the pace as far as showing his skills, because it's knowing today was a big day for boxing. The AJ fight was big on the cards. A lot of fights have been promoted today. So pick up the pace and let's start to kind of pressure this guy a little bit and show that I'm an elite fighter at this weight class, and this guy shouldn't even be in the ring with me. Well, see, that's the thing. We're past the 5th. That's why I want to see some pickup here in the second half of the fight. I want to see him kind of pick up the pace, because I don't think this guy should be able to last for very long. And he's showing him this round. I mean, he's hitting him with some good shots, Clary, but Clary's taking him. He's holding on. Good body work. He's doing some serious good body work. Clary told the referee it's low shots. He said they're too low. So we'll see here if Stevenson pick his shots up a little bit. Kenny Bayless warns him, try and keep him up. Clary walking around the ring. Shakur Stevenson still following around. Got a good power jab. Oh, good uppercut by Shakur there. Followed it up with a nice little body shot. Clary trying to move up and down a little bit, give him a little more, make it a little harder to hit. A good body shot. See, Clary doesn't like those body shots. Shakur is definitely going to town on the body this round. Another good body shot with the left. Oh, good jab. Good 1-2. Shakur Stevenson, another doubled up jab. Very good power jabs. Shakur Stevenson's jab is very strong. I mean, it's not just a simple pawing jab. I mean, it's a power jab almost every time he uses it. When he hits you with it, you feel it. Clary trying to pivot and circle around Stevenson, didn't quite work there. Both guys throw right hooks there. Both guys trying to work the body there. Tied up again. Oh, Shakur Stevenson with a nice quick little left to the chin. Oh, they're talking again. Here we go, some more talk. I'm not sure who Shakur Stevenson's talking to on the sideline there, but Kenny Bayless comes in and tells him to stop the chatter. Keep the chatter down. No need to see that. Shakur Stevenson a little confused why Toka got behind him like that. Another easy round to score, in my opinion, 10-9. All 6 rounds are now gone to Stevenson. I don't think it's a close fight at all. I think these are easy rounds to score. I don't think Toka, again, I just don't think my man Clary has got enough in the arsenal to keep up. He doesn't have enough to keep up with Shakur's. He's clearly outclassed this fight. I mean, he's game. He's trying. You got to give him heart. But other than E for effort, there's not much more to say about it. I think if he wants to have a shot at all, he's got to go for a knockout, obviously, because I think 6 rounds are easily in the bag. So he's got no chance, I believe, on winning on the scorecards. Toka, if he wants to win it all, he's going to have to just really, unleash big shots, get inside, get rough. And should be fireworks show if he wants a shot. Yeah, I agree. We got here 7th round begins. Shakur Stevenson, Toka Khan Clary. Fight so far I've scored is 6 rounds to 0. They just show Andre Ward's scorecard here on the screen, and he also has it 6 rounds to 0. So he's in agreement with how I have it. Like I said, easy fight to score, I believe, at this point. It's not very close. Shakur Stevenson has controlled the fight. He's had the bigger shots, landed the more eye-opening shots. His jab has been on point. Clary hasn't really done anything to hurt Stevenson or even put him in a position of worry. So at this point, this is easy work. Easy work for Shakur Stevenson. I would like to see him finish with a knockout, though. I mean, great fighter. I just, the way today's fights are going, I feel like it just looks better on his resume to go ahead and finish out the day with a knockout. And Clark, that's the kind of fight Clary needs to work right there. He got in close, threw about 3-4 punches, a couple of body shots. He's going to have to keep it up there. He's going to have to put himself in danger, I feel like, if he wants to win. You think Stevenson will go for it in the 10th? Yeah, I mean, this is the round I had it would go to. I didn't think it would go past round 7, but, you know, Clary's showed a good chin, showed his game. He's been wobbled a couple times with those stiff jabs and power jabs, but he's never looked like he was, you know, out of it as far as his able to stand on 2 feet. Like I said, wobbled a couple times, but he's been able to withstand a few of those big shots. And then again, Stevenson is, you know, hitting him with good shots. He's not, you know, smothering him. So he may go for it in the 10th if it fight comes. Oh, it was a great right hand by Shakur Stevenson there. I mean, I think if he gets a few more of those type of shots, he could definitely finish it out before then. Because that one definitely hurt. Clary did not like that shot. Clary's got to make it a dirty fight here. And when I say dirty, I mean just rough, tough, rugged. Get inside. Make it tough on Stevenson. He's too comfortable. Stop letting Stevenson back you down and be so comfortable. Oh, another great jab. Another great left. There we go. See, Stevenson maybe he's smelling something here. Tried to go with the right hook and miss. See, now he's back to slowing down a little bit. Jabbing again. Let's see, another great jab. I mean, that jab has been on point all night. I'm surprised, you know, Clary, you can see a good shot of his face right here. I'm surprised he doesn't look worse because he's been hit with those jabs all night. Power jabs, too, not just, you know, soft jabs. These are big power shots as far as his jab goes, stepping into him. It looks like Clary is going to make it out of the 7th round. A couple of shots there by Stevenson there at the end of the round, and he does. Clary finishes the 7th, so he's going to the 8th championship rounds here. I would have expected him actually to go down before this, but he's been game. He's taken some good shots, shown he can take a shot. And I do think if he wants a shot at winning this at all, he's going to have to go for a knockout. Clary's going to have to get uncomfortable. He too is fighting from a comfortable distance, I feel like. I think he's a little worried. I don't think he's sure that he wants to get inside and fight. But I think I hate to say that he's fighting not to lose. He's not fighting to win. And I think he needs to get inside and get in there for it if he wants a shot to win this at all. He's going to have to start throwing some shots, you know, put himself in the danger zone, if you will, with Shakur Stevenson if he wants to you know, try and score a winning punch to try and get him put Shakur Stevenson on the canvas. Because right now, Shakur Stevenson is not worried about his power at all. And again, he looks very comfortable. Start around 8. Stevenson, Clary. Stevenson is winning every round on my card easily. Clary has shown nothing that has been, you know, of any substance that looks like he could have a shot at winning this fight. Hoping to see. I'd like to see Clary try something. Get in there, get tough, get rough with him. But a lot of the same from Clary. He'll throw a couple shots, throw a couple body shots, and then that'll be it. He'll start backing up again. He's a little more game this round. He's not backing up like he's been backing up with Shakur Stevenson. And I spoke too soon. He's backing up again. Oh, and Shakur Stevenson with some good shots there. Good work. This is what I want to see out of Stevenson right here. These great combinations. Yeah, he just wants to make it to the end of the cards, I think. A W for him is not getting KO'd. I agree. I mean, I just think he's trying to survive at this point. He doesn't want to go down. Stevenson still walking him down there. They're in close now. Oh, good right hand by Stevenson. Right on the chin. Very nice. Toka's definitely showing he's got a chin. He can take a punch. He's still game. He's still throwing shots. I mean, the fight's not, you know, as far as you wouldn't call the fight. You wouldn't throw in the towel, even though he's losing for sure. Because he haven't been detrimental shots to where he looks like he's going to be hurt, but he's not winning on anything. So he's going to have to get himself in the risk zone, the danger zone if he wants a shot. Oh, great shots by Shakur. Great weave game by Shakur. And I think Clary is a little tight. He just kind of, threw his arms there to the side, trying to loosen up. And he's been too tight a lot of this fight. Yeah. I would like to see Clary, kind of pick up the pace himself to try and, go for the win. I mean, you're here. You're losing anyway. Go for the win. Let's make it tough. Let's go for some big shots and see if you can't finish this out and maybe get a lottery shot. 2 times bigger than Stevenson's. I think it's just the color. The white gloves always look a lot bigger than those black gloves. Black is very slimming, so he's got his hands a lot slimmer. Yeah, glove gate. His gloves do look bigger, but I think it's just the white gloves up against the black. Those black gloves always look more slimming. Those white gloves look like you got big pillows on your hands. They always look softer. So here we go, more of the same. Not a lot of change. Stevenson controlling around, controlling the fight. Good body work, up, down. I just don't see enough out of Clary to even really give him a shot. And even his power shots, they just don't look to be strong enough. They don't look to have enough power behind them. A little jawing back and forth here. Let's see, it looks like Kenny Bayless trying to fix something on Shakur Stevenson's glove there. They're showing some replays here this round. He had some great body work against Stevenson, great up down. He's got a good left body shot and a straight body that looks like it's going to come upstairs, and then he brings it down, and it's a really nice punch that he has in his arsenal there that I think will throw a lot of guys off their game, expecting to have a punch come up top and then coming down low right in the belly. Shakur Stevenson has controlled every round by far. This has been an easy one to score. I think Clary, again, he's fighting not to lose. I'd like to see more out of him. He talked a big game coming into this fight. He's been talking in the ring some. They've had some jawing back and forth. I'd like to see him kind of close the show, and close it in a fight. Go out on your shield. I mean, try. Get in there and really go for the big shots. I don't want to see you, just try and survive every round, especially when you've been losing every round. Thus far here in the last 2 rounds. Go out on your shield. I mean, you'll get a lot more respect from a lot of people, I think, if you really go out there and try. Here, you're just looking like you're trying to survive. Shakur Stevenson, they tie up for a second. We're about 40 seconds here in the 9th round. And Stevenson's caught him with a few good shots this round as well. Jab still working. A lot of shots down the pipe. He's still working the body. Stevenson looks so comfortable, so poised in this right. Not once has he looked uncomfortable, and I think that's what Clary needed to do, was get him uncomfortable in this fight. I would like to see Shakur Stevenson close this out. I think he has the ability to. I think he has the power to. So I'd like to see him do it. I'd like to see him go ahead and go for it. Clary, is defensive. He looks like he's just trying to survive. And unfortunately, we got another power jab just right down the middle. Cocks Clary's head back. And this whole round, Toka Khan's just kind of backing up. Every now and then he'll throw a shot or grab Stevenson. That's about it. That's about as far as it goes for Toka. He may be gassed too. He's throwing his arms down, trying to get, he's tight. He's tired. I think he's just about had enough. So, and in seeing that, Shakur Stevenson's a smart fighter. He sees the body language that he's, what he's getting here from Clary. Move in on him. Let's go. Pick it up. Another great jab by Stevenson. We got 1 minute left here in the 9th round. Let's pick up that pace here in this 9th. Let's finish this round strong. Go after him. Put him in danger. Do it smartly, but let's see it. He's got the skills to do so, and I'd like to see it. Clary still just backing up, eating jabs, eating good. That was a good little 3-punch combo and hooks. I'd like to continue to see shots like that from Shakur Stevenson. Good body shot. Clary, I think, knows he's getting beat here. I don't think he's confused with what's going on. I don't think he's gonna go to the corner and be like, I won that round, right? He knows he's losing. I don't see the fire in him. I don't see him unleashing, trying to win. Stevenson putting his gloves together, let him know that he's winning, and he's winning by far. It's not even close. I'd like to see. I'd love to see Stevenson in his 10th round. It would please me very much to see Stevenson come out in this 10th round and just go to work, knock him, go for the knockout. Same with Clary though. I don't want to see Clary just back up and try and survive this 10th round. It's your last round. You've lost every round. If you're not going to go for it, then just throw in the towel. But it's an easy fight to score. It's no doubt about who's won every round of this fight. So if you're going to be in this fight, go for it. Or throw in the towel now. What's the point? There's no point in going down that 10th round and running away and getting hit the whole time. So if you're not going to go for it, let's end it here. Let's stop wasting everybody's time. If you're going to go for it, though, let's do it. Let's get in there. Let's throw some punches. Let's, unleash. Try and get something. Yeah, let's throw bombs. Let's see something. I want to see the bombs get thrown. And Shakur Stevenson, if he's going to run away from you, run him down. Chase him. Find those spots. I really like to see Stevenson close this show in champion-like fashion. Start around 10. We're 10 seconds in. They meet in the middle of the ring. Shakur Stevenson, I have him up 10-9 every round. So it's not even close, in my opinion. So I'd like to see it, though. I'd like to see him finish this fight in good fashion. Clary kind of pawed at a few shots there, but none of these shots look like they have near enough power or just really anything on them that's going to do any kind of damage. I mean, I'm sure a lot of those body shots have done a lot of damage to him that Shakur Stevenson has done to him. He's put his arms down at his side again, kind of backing up. He looks very frustrated, but he also looks like he's giving up. He looks like a giving up fighter in this round. I'm hoping that Clary maybe can find muster up some energy here to go for something big, but I just don't see it. Stevenson just walking him down, tagging him with, fair shots. It's target practice. He's catching him with jabs, body shots, another jab there. Clary trying to, move away. Stevenson pressuring him. I like this. I do like he's pressuring him. And good defense. He's weaving all those jabs that Clary's throwing. But Clary's really got the wheels on this one. He's moving backwards a lot in this round. And Shakur Stevenson just walking him down. Got him on the ropes again. And Clary just grabs him, just holds him. Shakur Stevenson clearly, is looking around at the ring, smiling like, come on, why are you holding me at this point? Shakur Stevenson chasing him down still, got him on the ropes again. Clary's still running away. Running and not throwing many punches. I mean, he's not doing a lot. Oh, good left hand by Shakur Stevenson. Another good left hand by Shakur Stevenson. I'd like to see Shakur Stevenson cut off the ring a little bit better than what he is. He's not cutting off the ring very well. He's, kind of just following him around the ring. But I think he cut it off a little bit better. Kind of stopped some of Clary's runs. I mean, this last round is it's very weak. I think Shakur Stevenson's getting disinterested because Clary's not game to fight back, and he's just running from him. So he's getting a little irritated with running and chasing him, which he could eliminate if he cut off the ring a little bit better. Instead of cutting off the ring, he's following him around the ring. Shakur Stevenson is top fighter at this weight class. He's now switched to orthodox, which is not something you see every day. He doesn't do that very often. Oh, and he caught him with a good right from the right-hand position. A lead right. And Clary's still grabbing him. Round's almost over here. Shakur Stevenson's just running around the ring now, literally. Now he's got his arms at his side. Now he's getting a little funny with it. And the fight is over. That's it. I'm very disappointed in Clary's performance there, especially at the end. Shakur Stevenson won hands down. I can't even – he may not have been hit more than 20 times the whole fight. I mean, that was an easy work, easy fight to score. I'm curious to see how they do score it here. I wonder if they gave Clary any rounds. Because I didn't. Not one round. That was 100-90, easy scoring fight. But we'll see. They Fellas are in the corner. Shakur Stevenson, Toka Khan Clary. Unanimous decision. It's got to be. It's got to be. I mean, not only is it unanimous, but like I said, I'd love to see if somebody gave him a round. I don't know that he won a round. On my card, I wouldn't have gave him one round. That's how easy I think this fight was for him. Disappointing performance from Clary. I think he had the wrong game plan coming in here. He didn't pressure him near enough. I feel like it was a very easy fight for him. I mean, for Shakur Stevenson. I wanted to see a lot more out of Clary. I wanted to see a lot more, especially towards the end of the fight. I wanted to see, that he was game to try and make it a fight. I wanted to see some intensity, because he's got to know that he was losing the fight. He landed 48 punches the whole fight. Shakur Stevenson landed 151 on total punches landed. And they threw an equal amount of punches. So, it was 29% to 9% landed. I mean, it was just this was an easy fight to score. No doubt about it. Who won this fight? Glorified sparring. I mean, I don't even know. I've seen better sparring matches than that. I mean, that was ridiculous. Clary was not, he wasn't game. He was outclassed, and it showed that Shakur Stevenson was way out his class. I'm ready to see Shakur Stevenson step up in talent now. Fight some bigger names, better fighters, because that was, I'm not going to say waste of time, but it was definitely, it was very uneventful. There was not a lot to be seen. It's tough commentating a fight where the guy's just chasing another guy around the ring the whole time. I mean, easy work. And the winner, unanimous decision, Shakur Stevenson. 15-0 with 8 KOs. Easy fight. 9% on total punches landed. And you threw 500 punches in the fight. That's ridiculous. That's horrible. It's horrible. Like I said, wasn't even a close fight. Shakur Stevenson won that fight easily. Now I need to see him step up in talent. Let's fight some better fighters at 130, 130. If he's going to stay at 130 for a little bit, let's see some talent in the 130 pool. Let's see him fight like a Jojo Diaz or somebody like that. One more step up before you get a title shot. I mean, let's start seeing some guys with some talent get in the ring with him, because he's just outclassing a lot of these guys he's fighting. That was ridiculous. I mean, Toka Khan clearly outclassed, way out of his league, and it was just not a fight he's ready for. I wanted to see a lot more out of him too. I was not impressed with Toka Khan at all. I wanted to see some people. I wanted to see him really get in there and try and win the fight. I mean, obviously I had Shakur Stevenson picked to win, but I was hoping Clary would at least give it a puncher's chance. Yes, like, share, subscribe. Everybody who tuned in, everyone who hasn't tuned in and will see this later on, please follow my channel. I'm going to do a lot of live boxing commentating. We're going to have next week. We're going to try and I won't be able to do the Triple G fight on Friday. I will be in travel. But on Saturday, I'm definitely going to try and do the Canelo Alvarez main event. Thank you very much, Mr. Lewis. Tune in next week. I'm going to have a couple of episodes on Let's Talk Boxing. We're going to talk about a few different things. So thank y'all for viewing. Tune in again. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your parents, tell everyone you know, so that everyone can come and see and join this fantastic show, Let's Talk Boxing. Appreciate you guys. Kobe, Mr. Lewis, I'll see y'all next time.